Alright, so I figured today would be a good day to give a quick tour of my garage that I wouldn't say recently finished, probably about 6 months ago or so. So we'll go inside and take a quick look. It's 24 by 40. Everything that you see in here I did complete myself, except I did not do any of the concrete or foundation work, but all the drywall, electric, plumbing, that was all completed by myself. I did not do the floor. I had a company come in and do that. I did not want to learn how to do that on something like this, basically. I don't usually make YouTube videos, so I apologize if this is awkward. Might do a voiceover, not really sure yet. Starting with the front. I had all the hardware in the garage, doors powder coated. Installed the door myself. The hood, 3D printed the brackets here in the garage. Assembled that myself. We got a power washing station. It was kind of an afterthought. It wasn't really something I thought about when I was originally designing this, thinking about what I wanted. That's why you can see there's a, I had to run the line on the outside of the wall. If I did it over again, it would have been included. There would have been would have been more hidden, I guess is what I'm looking to say. Got some desktop lasers, CNC machine. It's something that I've always kind of been interested in doing. Now that I have the space, I've added some. So got the arcade machine. I built that many years ago. Now it's here in the garage. It's gonna, I took, put a PC in where the original, that was an original arcade machine. It didn't work any longer. It wasn't a very important machine, like a well-known one. Gutted it out, put a PC in it, and retrofitted, or an emulator basically. Got our resin printer. Just got that. I'm waiting for the washing station to come in. Pinball machine. Always been into pinball. Another laser, 3D printer. This is the Milwaukee wall. Milwaukee pack out wall, I guess. I had most of those tools before we started building the garage, but accumulated a lot during construction, things that I needed. Sink, main working area. Um, get to the heater floor in a second. Motorcycle lift. Used to have a motorcycle. Might get one again, not sure. Sold it when I was building the garage. But it actually is a nice adjustable bench, worktop basically. You can see now it's a mess. I'm actually going to build a new island bench that I can use to store all those materials. And I did fabricate those brackets for the garage door rails. Everything's powder coated there as well. Electrical panels also powder coated. It actually has a glow in the dark clear coat on the white. Everything's GFCI, arc fault breakers. Um, Actually, my house is a small house. It only has a 100 amp main circuit in it. So we added a 200 amp service to the garage, and it actually feeds my house underground conduit, 125 amp over to the house. And there's another sub panel that we added to feed the house from the garage. Um, yep, heated floors. Did that installation myself. That is a water heater. It's not a boiler, but it works just fine for the garage. Had no issues this wintertime. I live in Pennsylvania. Got pretty cold last winter, but it worked fine. Air compressor, some spray guns, powder coating equipment, filament rack. I did do the hex lightings on the ceiling. I know that some people don't like that. For me, it was always part of the plan. I like having those here. Stairs, basically the covering on the stairs, that's basically truck bed liner in a gray and a white. You got your mini split heat pump system down here. It acts as a mainly for the air conditioner, so maybe a backup if the floor were to fail, but that has not happened. There's a second floor. There's a half bath upstairs with the toilet and a sink. If you're interested, I can possibly make a video up there. That's where my wife has her crafting space. It is a small little business that she does, and she uses up there as her shop. There's 4 speakers in the ceiling. I think they're 100-watt speakers. That's what you see those painted red and black. Kind of go with everything else theme-wise in here. That little rack here in the corner is it has like kind of a master volume on it. That's where the amp is. There's a subwoofer. But everything can be controlled by your phone or the computer. This whole building is kind of a smart building. All the lights are RGB except for the ceiling hex grids and the ones on the wall. So you can change them. I don't have any of that programmed yet. I'll get to that at some point. I still use the motorcycle lift. My cousins have motorcycles. We work on them pretty often. Like I said, not sure if I will get back into that or not. Not sure what really to talk about. If anyone has any questions, like they say, leave them in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video answering anything that someone might ask. Um, hose reel covers the length of the garage. I don't use air tools that often. Um, mostly everything's battery, obviously, but I do use it mainly for the spray guns and sometimes when I need an air impact. Let me get a shot up here from the landing. Look at the brackets here. I like the way I made all those brackets that are suspending the lights. I didn't want to make them flush on the ceiling. The goal was to put RGB strips on the top of the hex lights to shine up to the ceiling. I just haven't got there yet. It's another project that'll come eventually. I do have a mat. That's where my wife parks her SUV. I do not park in here. You can fit 2 cars if you wanted to. Garage door is 16 feet wide, 8 feet tall. But the space kind of turned into, I guess, something else than a normal garage. But she does park in here. The mat, I live in Pennsylvania. Even though it's a pretty durable floor, it does scratch. And dragging in the salt and the cinders in the wintertime. And it just keeps the water, any runoff from the car, salt contained. When I take it and hose it out, not going to get the stains out of it, but that is what it is. I have not programmed that dial yet. That is where I will have this dial here. We'll have different buttons programmed to operate different functions, lights, whatever I want to do with that. I haven't really got into that yet. Um, the way I have the switches set up, I'll turn it up view here. Below the red line on the walls, that's where the drywall starts. It's just block. That's more, what do I want to call it? That's just more bed liner that's painted on the block on the wall part itself. Stairs have that bed liner again. So it's kind of got a grit texture to it. Um, so the way I have these switches working for the ceiling lights, the first switch turns on the frames for all the lights. And then you got one that lights up the first bay, first half of the garage, and then the second half of the garage. Figured I'd make the video. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. People have their custom garages, dream garages, whatever you want to call it. Thought mine was a little bit unique. Give people ideas, ask me questions. Not sure how much I'd be making videos or uploading. I'm not really a YouTuber, you can probably tell by just listening to this video, but I did want to make it because I'm pretty proud of how this turned out. Again, I did all the drywall, finishing work, electrical, plumbing. Did not do the foundation. That was a whole thing we could talk about. This garage is not on level ground, so it's a whole stepped foundation, step footer, block wall. Probably have some of the pictures. I know I have pictures of what that looked like whenever they were digging it up and before. I have pictures throughout the whole process. They're actually, some of them are in the frames along with the plans on the walls, up on the stairs there. But if I get a lot of questions, if this video reaches a lot of people and there's a decent amount of questions, maybe I'll make a follow-up video to talk about some of the questions and people might have for the garage. If you're interested in seeing the upstairs, it's pretty unique as well, I think, at least. Let me know. All right, talk to you.